All right, we are back with a recap of the Cavs game on Monday against the Brooklyn Nets at home, where they took a loss, final score of 125 to 117. Again, a loss for the Cavaliers in that one. Brooklyn was on fire coming into this game, and they did not slow down for this one either on Monday, so let's get into it. Lamar Stevens in the starting five. Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant having an impact early on in the get-go in the first quarter. You could tell that Darius Garland was also getting in the play early, and after a first quarter that was pretty much all Brooklyn, the Cavs found themselves down 12 after the Nets shot the lights out in the first quarter, and the Cavs didn't have too much of an answer. Most of the second quarter saw a spirited Cavs comeback effort. Some of the bench players making some nice impact plays. I thought Cedi Osman had a couple of good sequences in that effort, although Garland was pretty much leading the way, continuing his nice effort for the night. His three-pointer got the Cavs within 1 point, less than 4 minutes left to go in the second quarter, but then the rest of the second quarter happened in the final 3 minutes or so. Kyrie Irving just absolutely going off. Brooklyn would take a 16-point lead heading into halftime after the Cavs did all that work and put in all that time to get the game back to well within reach, where it was pretty much even, but then Brooklyn and mostly Kyrie Irving said, no, thank you. We will take our commanding lead into halftime with us. Although I thought in the end of the second quarter and into the early third, Garland was doing a good job of getting the ball into the paint, making some plays happen there. In the third quarter, I thought the Cavs offense clicked pretty well, but the Brooklyn Nets offense was still able to score enough to keep the Cavs at bay, kept them from getting really too close into this game heading into the fourth quarter. Garland was really starting to heat up at the end of the third, and Brooklyn, the lead was cut to 12 by the Cavs back into the fourth quarter. So a game that's not necessarily over, but still the Cavs down by double digits with only one quarter to go. Seemed like it was pretty much the Nets controlling most of the play there. The Nets building on their lead even more on some more Kyrie plays early on in the fourth. Looked like Brooklyn was really going to put their foot on the gas and step on the Cavs' throat there with some classic Killer Instinct kind of vibes. Garland trying to drag the Cavs back into the game, and he's kind of successful at it, getting it to within 9 points with a little more than 6 minutes left, so the Cavs weren't dead yet off of the back of Darius Garland playing very, very well. Then Kevin Durant hitting some just dagger shots there. Darius Garland working some more magic in the fourth to get the Cavs to a reachable deficit, but then Kyrie Irving would answer with a contested corner three kind of late to, I think, put the lead back up to double digits for the Nets. The Cavs' comeback effort ultimately falls short. Garland was tremendous in this game for the Cavs. I've been mentioning his name a lot in this short review. He's put up 46 points. He was moving the ball around, facilitating. He was having himself a game. Just a little too bad that nobody else on the Cavs roster really came close to matching the production. Jarrett Allen did have a 10-point, 11 rebound, a double-double, so that's nice for the stat sheet, but as far as the impact it had on the game, wasn't all that much. And the Cavs just overall as a team were no match for the Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant show. Both of them having 32 points. They combined for 21 for 37 shooting, 12 for 19 from three between the two. So they had a very, very productive outing against the Cavs. They didn't really have much of an answer for them defensively. And even when they did have perfect defense on him, like the Kyrie Irving corner three, Darius Garland was all over him, but it did not matter. They were just going off, and Brooklyn has just been red hot as of late. I thought off the bench for the Nets, TJ Warren and Yuta Watanabe. Excuse me if I got that wrong, but I do think I pronounced that right. I did make sure to I made sure to watch some clips to get that last name right. We're pretty impactful off of the bench for the Nets as well. I feel like in general, the Cavs at this point in the season, it's pretty clear that they need a respectable scoring threat at the smallest forward spot at the three. Maybe you think that's Dean Wade when he comes back from injury. Otherwise, if it's not him, then they're probably going to have to they have to seek a trade to make that happen, and maybe they're not comfortable with making some major changes at this point in the season, although they're probably going to have to be. As defenses, they don't really respect or they don't really worry about Lamar Stevens and Okoro. They just leave them open for corner threes. They don't respect them as offensive threats. And while you do need some impact of defense with that's what Stevens and Okoro bring to the table in theory. On offense, it's just a complete liability. You're basically playing 4.5 on 5. It's not working out. And again, maybe when Dean Wade comes back from injury, he's that answer that the Cavs are kind of looking for as that scoring threat at the 3 spot. But that's when Dean Wade comes back, and eventually, it's not really working. And Cedi Osman and Karis LeVert haven't been consistent enough scores to where you could just say, well, then start them. They've been really hot and cold this season so far, especially with Karis LeVert. He'll have these amazing scoring outings. You think, man, if he can just do that for a prolonged period of time, he could really earn the starting job here. And then he just doesn't do that night in, night out. And Cedi Osman, probably mostly impactful off the bench anyways. So they're kind of stuck with this they're in a weird limbo spot right now at the 3 position. Again, maybe Dean Wade coming back fixes it, but you'll have to see that before you believe it. Donovan Mitchell wasn't very productive again in this one, second straight game. However, I'm not worried about him overall as the season goes along. I feel like he'll definitely find his groove more often than not in these kind of games. And I hope so. If not, then the Cavs just kind of swung and missed this year on this trade. But if what we've seen from Donovan Mitchell so far this season is any indication of what he'll play like, I feel like Donovan Mitchell is going to be just fine moving forward. And maybe he'll have a rough couple of games. Maybe he'll have to adjust to maybe just getting stuck on, the best defenders for Brooklyn being, the best defenders in the NBA are going to be focusing on Donovan Mitchell. Obviously, maybe that's just something he'll have to get used to with his lineup. But anyway, I'm not worried about Donovan Mitchell's production at all. I feel like he's going to recover. And again, if he doesn't, then that kind of, that's kind of what the Cavs are basing themselves around right now, is this Donovan Mitchell trade. And if that doesn't work out, then that's going to have to, that'll just be what it is. But overall, I've seen Donovan Mitchell putting up really great performances so far this season, and him not having those has been the exception to the rule. So I'm just going to have faith that Donovan Mitchell will eventually he'll come back to his average, and he will just he'll pick it up eventually somewhere down the road when it's going to be more important and matter more for the Cavs. But thank you all for watching and made it this far. I'm going to stop doing the whole outro thing and just kind of end videos like a little abruptly.